Dimp Digital Presents Idle Game Chat.
Hello, Apps here from Dimp Digital. Welcome to Idle Game Chat. This is the weekly video games podcast where we give our impressions of the games that you can play today and react to the latest news from the wonderful world of video games. We're here every Monday on your favourite podcast app and YouTube, absolutely free. This week, I'm joined by the three-time Dimp Digital Gaming Quiz champion. It's Tom Adkins, not Adcock. How's it going?
Dawn, I'm fed up.
Oh, no. First one of 2021. Halfway through February. And that's...
Livid.
Is it the snow?
It's everything.
We've had snow down here. It's fucked the whole week up. Last Sunday it happened. It still ain't gone a week and a bit onwards. So
it's just like shit ice now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's actually round here not too bad. It's got quite a bit better in the last couple of days. But for the first part of the week, disaster zone. But that can get people a little bit down. So you're an outdoorsman.
I enjoyed it at first and then sort of went out and played in it. Well, I've got children. I've played with my children in the snow. Yes. And go out and play with my own. And yeah, then at the end it was like, right, that's fucking cold now.
Did they get bored of the snow eventually? Yeah,
and then what the wife done as well is because she didn't want to go outside all the time. She started fucking bringing it in the house. She got the fucking tins and the fucking cooking trays out and then stuck a load of ice on there, put a towel down, and the kids were playing with snow indoors. And he had a fucking heart attack.
Well, that's one way to do it if you don't want to go outside.
But yeah, they I suppose they do. Like, it was the first time my little one's ever seen it, so she was like, "What's this shit?"
Yeah.
It's like Daddy's cocaine.
Yeah, well, seen plenty of that over the years. Yeah. That fucking dog was going mad in it. He just wanted to spend all the time out on it. He just was eating it and kicking it and stuff. And after a while, it becomes infuriating because I still have to keep an eye on him when he's outside in case he does something stupid. And because he was out there constantly, it was a real difficult week to be getting some work done. But it is melting, just like people's hearts were melted on Valentine's Day. That was a chuck away for some people, the biggest swindle in society going.
Gets celebrated in my house. Romance is dead.
Yeah, exactly. Recording gaming podcasts instead. So that's what's going on. We had to make a few adjustments to today's show. Was planning to have some fresh impressions of a certain Nintendo first party game, which we will get to, and we'll explain why that's not the case in a little story itself. But we've still got games to be talking about and, you know, maybe a little bit of news. I mean, I keep saying that I need to change the intro because we ain't reacting to any of the news. We simply don't do it because...
I need to get like a little rundown, the top 5 stories of the week.
Yeah, I could do something like that. But then the trouble is, I won't do it every week. And then people are like, where's that? And then, you know, they're not even putting hand in pocket and they're asking for features to be added. Speaking of hand in pocket, patreon.com/idle game chat is the place to go where you can do that. Put hands in pockets. That's what you need to be doing with these temperatures dropping. Keep them in your pocket, but make sure that money's filtering through. Patreon.com/idle game chat. If you don't want to, can't afford it, doesn't matter. We thank you for giving up your time to listen to us today or whenever you are. Right. So we're sitting here expecting to have fresh opinions and fresh outlook. That is a real fuck up. Fresh fucking perspective on Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
One of the top games from the Wii U. Everyone said, "Go get that." That's the Wii U seller, that is.
Well, without burying the lead, did you ever play the original Jobby?
No, I did not. I don't even know. I only know 2 people that had a Wii U, to be fair. Hall and Pasola.
Salmon.
And Salmon, I forgot he had one. He always raving about it. He's probably the only one that had it, but I saw it I thought it came to 3DS at one point as well. Did they do like a watered down version of it?
What they did. That was the time when I just completely checked out of Nintendo. That Wii U era. After the Wii, like everyone had one, even fucking Nana had one. And then the Wii U come along, and I was just like, this is just so bad. Bad. And it wasn't even like a commercial success, so it was just like...
I remember sort of being hyped for it when they announced you could sit on your toilet and play it, and I was like, cool, I suppose that's what the Switch was.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is, you were still tethered to the console, so if your toilet was too far away, a signal cut out.
Still went mad. And I remember thinking, cool, that is a good idea, but then I must have just seen, I can't really remember that part of, how long ago was it? 2014, 12, something like that?
Longer than that, yeah. I think
longer than that, was it?
2012 time.
Something like that. I can't remember actually going, right, no. I must have just listened to the reviews and gone, God, avoid that like a bag of shit. And then just, like you, just didn't pay any attention to any games that were on there. I think the only one that really pissed me off was Bayonetta 2. Being a Wii U exclusive. And I was like, fuck's sake, because I ain't buying one of them just for that.
Yeah, one of the great things that Nintendo have done with the Switch, and it depends on your perspective. If you had a Wii U, you ain't interested in this, but porting and sometimes remastering the games from the Wii U era, which were going to be lost, onto the Switch, kind of feels like a must, considering how well the Switch is still selling. It's fucking stomping its way up the charts. So that, to me, was a bit of a godsend. Being someone who had not really owned a Nintendo console throughout his whole life, other than a fucking Game Boy, to have the Switch go back and sort of pick up a lot of the missed generation stuff from Wii U has been great. I haven't played it for about half a year, but that's not the point. The option's there to go back. But you were supposed to be sitting here playing this all weekend. This is going to be a Friday delivery job, a Steelbook edition physical cartridge coming your way to build that Wii U collection. And it sounds like the aforementioned snow has got on top of the raw mail around these parts.
Fucking hell. It's not even that, but I want to phone them and say, look, if I get my fucking shovel out and I start scraping the ice away, will you come and get it?
Yeah.
Then I started Googling it, and fucking there's like a little message from them saying, oh, we know the snow's been bad in these areas, Essex.
Yeah.
We will be trying to do some deliveries on Sunday, the 14th. We don't normally do it, but, we're going to put hand in pocket and get out there. Did they? Fuck, I've been sat here all day looking at my front door every 10 minutes going, no, it's really annoying me. So this is now the third game. So we had, what did we have? It was Spider-Man, wasn't it? Spider-Man, even though the PS5 hadn't even come out.
Yeah. It got Miles Morales a day late, or even
Miles
longer than
that. A day late. That didn't come till the Tuesday. That was released on the Friday. I got that Tuesday, I think. So I've got a stinking feeling there. Then Cyberpunk was a day late. I got that on the Saturday, and now for a third consecutive pre-order is now fucking AWOL.
So people are saying, they're going, oh, hang on. If you've been burnt twice, why are you going back to the same well 3 times? Well, for your information, this time I'm led to believe this wasn't base.com.
Base was absolutely screwing. It was even the cheapest price as well. But I held me guns. I said, no, I ain't going there. I'm not going with another company that's going to get me fucking not on day one.
Yeah.
Trust the old Simple, which I've never had any problems with, Simply. And to be honest, I don't think it is their fault. They shipped it out Thursday, first class.
Yeah.
So normally that's coming the next day, or if not, really sort of, on the rare that it comes 2 days with first class.
Yeah.
But here I am fucking 3 days later, technically.
Wow. And the thing is, to be fair, the snow was pretty torrid, especially in the early parts of the week. By Wednesday, though, those paths, they're walkable.
I see Amazon vans have been fucking flying down my road this week.
Love it, didn't they?
They just go. Anyone, fucking Sutton, he's listening. He's a long-time listener. Shout out to Sutton. He's booming down this road like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, Hermes have been out. They're loving that. that old woman, not old woman, but the woman who does it around here, she's been out loving it, saying,
she loves it.
It's tricky. Royal Mail.
Royal Mail can't find my passes, and they're going, nah, it's dangerous. We'll get it to you when we get it.
It's dangerous not to deliver my games on time.
Exactly, when reviews and first impressions are needed. But it's annoying because there's loads of videos I keep watching, but I'm on a stop because I don't want spoilers. Not spoilers, but just even looking at it, I'm like,
I think
what I've got to do.
One of those things, great things like the Mario, is seeing some of those worlds for the first time. And I've seen a little bit of the Bowser stuff. Like, obviously, Bowser looks like it's in some sort of lava world, which is fine. But I have done it, even though I've not even decided to get it. I've still actively tried not to look at things. So simply games named but not quite shamed. They're being people are saying it's Royal Mail.
I'm going to give it to them. I think it is the Royal Mail because I ain't had nothing, and I was even half tempted to put a fucking post in that fucking bile group, the weight community, just to see if other people have been getting posts.
Yeah. I'm sure there would have been a comment in there or two.
Yeah.
But that's a disaster. So it cost us impressions. We will get them. I assume you're not going to cancel the order.
No, it should be on his fucking way. Unless it's gone to a different address, I'll be livid if it don't turn up in the next few days. So, which I have had another. I bought a game off eBay once and it went down the fucking new road somehow.
Yeah, that's not even close.
No, the lady managed to get hold of me somehow.
Down New Road, that's very lucky. They normally take that sort of stuff. They'll have that.
It was Halo 5, so she could have fucking kept it, to be honest.
So did the address say your actual address? It just went to a completely different... Wow.
Just completely... Well, it was mine... Wow, the fuck, I'll be getting dick pics sent to if I turn it online. But mine... No, I ain't going to say it.
It is similar.
It is similar.
Right.
It is similar. Yeah, but not even the same. I'll
put his full address in the notes. So if those that are listening, if you check the description, you'll see Adkins' address. If you want to send him dick pics or I don't know, people send bullets these days, and they don't. No. That's classed as hate. So probably don't do that if I'm being responsible. Does this latest in the saga of day one orders and day one snarl ups? Does it push you towards a more digital life? I've obviously made a bit of a commitment on the PlayStation side, getting that digital console, but you've now had 3 high-profile blunders from various outlets, and with lockdown, it's not like you could have gone to game and got it anyway. So people are out there saying, "Oh, you go down the shop," but you can't. It ain't an option. It's pretty much delivery jobby. Yep. How are you feeling on that front? Because you love your physical collections, but you don't trade, so it's not like there's a financial gain to be having. Your trading system's not there. Like Biff does it to trade, which is fine. You kind of do it from a collector's perspective, but you have got digital libraries as well knocking about.
Yeah, I try not to buy digital unless it really is a deal I can't turn down. I like the idea of. I wish my brain would let me do digital fully, because it is so much easier just to click on it, but for some reason fucking Rodney has to have these fucking boxes cluttering all this. I'm now running out of room. I've got a fucking watch in the way.
That's why he's doing a fucking loft conversion just to put all his games in.
That's it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Just make a wall just full of the fucking games. Don't need insulation. I just use these boxes. But I've got to say, things like this is really starting to piss me off. And I know the thing is, they got so much shit they can blame it on now. It's fucking snow. If it ain't the snow, they can blame COVID.
Yep.
We've been living with it for a year. Fucking sort it out. But yeah, it is pushing me towards a digital life. And, it always was the money thing. I always thought, well, if you're getting day one on digital, you got to pay through the nose. You're paying full price 60, 70 quid.
Yeah.
Well, you've managed to find reach arounds.
Yeah, I have.
Official. Yes. So that's now fucking. I'm sitting there watching that now, going right. So it's not even that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the workaround that kind of gets you a cheaper deal for the digital side. One, you can do it like with a separate kind of account in a different country, VPN jobby, but it's not what we're doing. All I've been doing is just places like Shop2 and CD Keys. They sell. It's primarily PlayStation top up. I've not seen great deals on Xbox or at all on Nintendo, but if you're a PlayStation owner, you can buy, like, for example, you could buy 40 quid's worth of PlayStation credit for £35 or less sometimes. So you're making a saving there. Then, you know, by the time you've got the amount you need for a new release, sometimes it will come in about the same price as a physical release. Depends on the release. Like, you managed to snag Resi 8 for like 42 quid, didn't you, physical, which is unbelievable bargain. So it doesn't always work, but for those that are in the digital space and want to save a few quid, that's the way I'd recommend doing it. Don't buy it directly with your card from the store. Get the credit cheaper, import that into your account, and you'll get whatever amount of money it is, and you'll pay less for it. And that's kind of how I've been doing it.
Yeah,
but it's a tough one. I mean, I do have days where I think I should have just got that physical PS5 version. I think for me that was a bit of an error because I can't borrow any games off of the likes of you or Biff or whoever. That's the stinker. I didn't need to get the digital console to make me buy digital. I could have just made a conscious decision not to have bought any physical games. Like I could but I guess it kind of forced my hand. But on balance, I'm not doing too bad. Like the real thing it's made me do is not just keep splurging and buying stuff when I'm not ready to play it. I'm still hunting. Like all these weeks on 60 hours topped up.
God,
so that's,
what are you on total now?
I think like I had to do a quest to unlock 35.
Cool.
So I hadn't been doing. I left that for ages. So I didn't know it was there. It was in like the assigned quest, but wasn't showing up as new. And then, and it like boosted me. Either boosted me to 35 or unlocked progress from there. But yeah, I've basically done every optional quest that's available.
Cool.
Done all the little side quests with the little people that you see at each of the locations, the little exclamation points, unlocked all the tail riders, all that stuff I've done. So I've got literally nothing left to do in the base game other than like capture every type of the monster, and then they seem to go into the arena once you do that. So that'll create a new optional quest, but I ain't doing that. I'll finally start Iceborne. But nonetheless, my point remains is that I've just been, rather than buying something else in the meantime and then not really playing either of them properly, I've just committed to this one game, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's the plan. But
good idea.
It's difficult though. Game Pass is handy because you kind of just dip into a game now and again. Yeah,
that's what I've been pretty much doing all this week. Tibbits, I don't know what's happened. I'm in a rut. I'm fed up, though.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even played something. I suppose Resident Evil, maybe. It was like my God of War.
Cyberpunk.
I finished that. It's a Cyberpunk, sort of like this hangover of big. And every time there's a big game, I sort of have this hangover. But now I just can't. I've got no interest in anything. I'll play something for like 5 minutes, and I'll be like, "What am I doing here, Dawn?"
Yeah. It's a bit of a pain.
Yeah, I'll get out of it because I always do. I pucker up, stiff up lip, the old damn busters. But it's just nothing's clicking. That's it. And a dog. Nothing's clicking.
No, I mean the annoying thing is, I reckon Mario would have done.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Another weekend that you sacrificed
doing shit all. And I've got four games, 4 fucking Switch exclusives sat here that I've not even started yet. I could start one of them.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, Pokemon, Xenoblade, and Mario 3D All-Stars all sat here, but I just can't be fucked.
No, it's one of those things. Does this latest setback, how close do you think you are to committing, not committing, but looking more down the digital front? Because you raised a good point. Imagine if this happened with God of War or The Last of Us Part 3.
This is what's got him getting me. I, for 1 second, don't think that God of War is coming this year. But if they did and they said it was June and we're still in this sort of fucking lockdown shit, all right, we ain't gonna have no snow. I would definitely be considering my options.
Cool. But what was a Steelybook version of it? Beautiful.
Well, this is the thing. It's getting to the point now where I might just buy both, just to be safe. I know it sounds so stupid, and that's the thing. Like a game, I'll buy. Like I've got fucking. What have I got here? I've got like the games I platinum. the Order 8086. It's probably worth about 50p.
Yep.
I'll platinum. I'll never touch that game ever again.
Wow.
But that's now sitting there doing absolute nothing. I'll probably never even pick it up again. I need to move it up into the loft. But my brain goes, no, you got to keep that. Don't sell it. I think, why? I'm never going to touch it.
Not
Salmon
interested.
fucking ruined it for me a little bit. Like he said the other day about how his games on his Wii U don't work anymore. His digital games. And I was like, right.
That is, yeah. I mean, particularly with Nintendo, like Nintendo was the Switch. Sorry, was the first platform I binned it and went right digital, because the simple task of getting those cartridges in and out of that Switch was fucking me off like something chronic. Again, it's a first world problem, but I don't trust that little flimsy bloody cover they've got over it. That'll come off one day if I keep fiddling, and just to get them in and out. And I was just like, look, I'm not interested in this. It's annoying me, particularly if it's meant to be on the go. I don't want to be butterfingering it and dropping one at the airport, breaking it. But the concern is that considering we've got backwards compatibility now, Xbox did it last gen properly, and then Sony have followed suit here and given it on PS4 to PS5. I'm not concerned really with those two, because I think that from going forward now, it's an expectation that your old library lives on. But that Switch, it won't be the Switch Pro that does it. It'll be whatever the new concept is, like the departure from the Switch. My main concern is all those games I've got will be null and void, just like the Premier League season. It'll be unplayable unless I keep the Switch, which at that stage I probably won't want to. Concerning. That's the concern.
Well, because like you say, I'm not a trader, so I've got every console I've ever bought. I still own it. I still have it. I still got my PS2s. The old ones. I don't know what happened to the old one. Like my original consoles. Like, I remember having a PS1 and fucking SNES and all that, Mega Drive. I don't know what happened to them.
No, I think that's the ones where parents chuck them out.
Yeah,
or do something with them.
I think, fucking hell, what's something like? I don't remember this like heartbreak when they blow up or anything.
No, PS2 I broke mine eventually over time, but that got thrown in the bin, I think, eventually, because it just stopped working, because I was using a chipped version of PES Winning 11. It was all patched up with all the names and kits done. I had to pull the front plate off, open up the disc drive whilst the console was running, choose region 3, put the disc in. It was I broke it myself. And that's why it went in the bin. But yeah, you've got all your latest ones at least.
I've got even I've got PS2, PS3, PS4 up there, all of them. Xbox 360, you name it. I keep it all up there with the game. I've got fucking hundreds of games. Albert's going to have a field day when he hits fucking 15. He's going to have gaming. So much. And then, he won't like gaming. So it's just going to rot there. And then unless she'll take it, but she probably won't play it either. So, but I'm digressing here. I don't know. Like, I love physical. I love buying the concept of buying something and having it, and something tangible. Right? Like I bought digital games. Like the Yakuza series, for some reason, I have 3 of them, and they're all digital. I think, right, I've sort of committed to the digital life for that. But yeah, I don't know. This does, like I was saying, if it's a God of War, if it was a Last of Us, and I'm like, fucking hell, it would annoy me. It would annoy me something chronic that I would consider going to like Asda's and going to buy it, and then send the other one back. I've been thinking about that. I was going to Asda's tonight. I was closed now, but I was tempted to go to Asda's yesterday, get it, and then when a new one, just send it back and go, look, not good enough.
Yeah. Or keep the Steelbook edition and take back the Asda one. I don't know if they'll take it back, but
that's true. Yeah.
Don't know how that works. Well, it's a dilemma. It's a shame because it cost us a nice conversation topic, and I've been interested to hear some thoughts on Mario. I asked Adcock whether he was getting it a couple of weeks ago, and he said no, so he's walked away from it.
Chappers and Thing haven't they?
Yeah, Chappers has got it.
Is he a digital man or is he a physical man?
I think Chappers has got it physical because he mentioned it had arrived. So he was waiting for a package, and I think the little ones are excited to play that. So that's a good news story out of the Dimp ranks there. And he's doing well in the Fantasy Gaming League. Go to dimpdigital.com and see the latest scores. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But we'll be back with Mario 3D World, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury once some people have got some time into it, and we'll see how it stacks up. Scored reasonably well. I think OpenCritic has it as an 89 as we record this, so not to be sniffed at. I think some people were expecting higher out of the league because the original was 95 plus or something ridiculous. I saw something. I think it was, who was it that gave it a 7? IGN or GameSpot?
IGN.
I saw something. Someone posted like their review from the original, like the little notes, and then the review from the remaster, and it was like a 9.6 versus a 7. And I was like, right, what's going on here?
I don't get and it's not like it's even said. It's just it just didn't even say like why he don't like it. It just says they don't come together like I thought they would. That's his crux of it. I'm going, right, why? I don't know. I think
they're a strange. It's a strange thing, this review score, and I primarily look at it from an FGL perspective where it's just number based. But if you try and make sense of them, sometimes you're like, right, what's going on here? But
I was looking at that Metacritic score. Was it on 89? The last time I checked, there was only 2 7s.
Yeah,
there's only 2 7s.
But you think about it, you've only got to not get a 9 for it to be pulled down a little bit. And I don't think there's too many reviews before the release date. I think there was like a select outlets that had it, but now there's like 60 odd, so it's slowly getting there. Yeah. But we'll get back with some impressions in the coming weeks of that. Be interesting to have a bit of change of gears with some Nintendo stuff, so looking forward to that. I've got another game to report on, a little known title called, and you probably would have seen this on some Nindy presentation or a lower key one, but it's the game that everyone seems to have forgotten about. It's Donut County.
Cool.
So 2018 game technically. I was going to buy it based on Mr. McWomble's recommendation on Pixel Points. I think he said it was his top game from last year that he played. Good fun loving game, and I was like, right, well, at that point it was £3 on the fucking PSN store. So I mean, you can't quabble at that. So I thought, I'll get that, and I delayed it. The day before the sale ends, I'll get a little notification come through my phone, Xbox Game Pass. Oh, by the way, Donut County's coming. So I was like, perfect.
Oh, lovely.
Although it could have been a real easy sort of £3 platinum if I'd looked at it that way.
Cool.
That's what I gave up on. But I thought, for the sake of an extra half a beer, which is all that I'll buy, I'll keep it to myself. So I played it on Game Pass. And are you familiar with this game at all, or does it strike any memories? Like when I say Donut County.
No, I remember. I think it was on another podcast they were talking about, and all I remember hearing is the words "black hole," and that was it.
Basically, you control a hole,
right,
and you move it around. You make things fall into it. As you make things fall into it, it gets bigger, and then you can eventually you get whatever's on that level. The idea is that you get everything to fall in the hole.
Right.
Okay. Now, the story that leads to you doing that is. In all honesty, it's basically everyone in this county has ended up down the hole, basically. So they've all ended up down the dungeons, and they're trying to figure out exactly what led to them getting into the hole. And there's one particular character who you play as, who I think his name's BK's. And by the way, it's set in a world where animals take the place of humans. So, like BK, for example, is a raccoon. The people you speak to, there's like a dog, a crocodile, all that sort of stuff. So, just Animal Crossing, basically. Think of that. And BK basically works for a donut shop in Donut County, and he's got a new mobile app which is supposed to, on the surface of things, help deliver donuts to people. That's what it's there for. But what it turns out it can do is it can create these little holes that can take up, and essentially it's a story of BK and the rest of like the town members telling their story about how they fell down the hole, and then obviously the idea is eventually they'll get out of it and all that stuff. But the stories are absolute garbage.
Right.
It won't keep you engaged. If you're sitting there going, right, where's this Ellie and Joel relationship built? This isn't the game for you, so don't be doing that. But the idea is a novel one in that you move this hole around. It's strangely addictive. It's obviously pretty easy because you can kind of see what will fit and what won't fit. But it is strangely addictive, kind of slowly building up the size of the hole and then getting these massive structures to fall in. But they do have a couple of great ideas where it requires a bit more puzzle solving to get through. So you can't just gobble everything up. Like you might have to lure a particular animal or creature over to a certain part of the world. They trigger something, then you can get the rest of them. Or in some levels, you can kind of fill the hole up with water, and then that could be used to spit things out and all that. The trouble is, they are few and far between, these levels. So you're essentially, for 88% of the game, just gobbling up things with no real brain requirement. Yeah. And there's a couple, maybe 3-4, that require some level of like mindful interaction. And they're not hard, but it just means you've got to kind of think about it a little bit. So what happens is very, very quickly, I'm talking within an hour, you run out of steam because you're thinking, oh, as fun as this is, I think you really need to be stoned to play this game properly.
Oh, really?
Like, you get yourself proper baked, you'll be loving life. But if you haven't got that option available to you, it does get a bit long in the tooth. But it's harmless because it's only about 2.5 hours long. So really, can you really complain when it's kind of that level? So that's really all I've got to say on it. I mean, it looks okay. It ran reasonably well. It's short. It's harmless. It could do with a little bit more engagement from the player to get through it. Story's a load of old balls, but I don't know if you had any questions about Donut County, and if not,
does it look like a Switch game?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Little few things I've sort of put a few indie games on there and thought, cool, this could be like an indie powerhouse, this console, and I always think of that as a Switch game.
Yeah.
What about mobile? Was it the controls where if you're just moving around, or what's it called?
It's on Android, and I think it's on iOS as well. Yeah. Cool. So that was quite recent. I think it's December they got it on Android, but it's been on iOS since it released in 2018. So you can't really complain at that. It's a bit strange using this Series X on this 4K OLED playing Donut County, but
it looks quite nice. I've just played the trailer on my TV just to get a sort of feel for what it looks like. It's got a nice little art style. Yeah, like I said, it's harmless. It's just not all that, really. Yeah. It's I don't know what it, completion. Yeah, I finished it. Yeah, it was like, and that's the biggest criticism really, is even its short run time. I was kind of looking at my watch going, fuck me, when they're going to wrap this up? Oh, so really? That's not a good sign for it. It's really harmless, as I said, but it's not. It could have been better in some aspects, and they dropped the ball. I think really they could have made a far more interesting puzzle element to it. Like first few levels, you just gobble things up because you want to get people liking that mechanic. After that, I wanted to see some quite thoughtful placement of items and other ways you can interact with the world to get through it. But it was kind of lopsided the other way, where it was mindless. And you know, for like, I think it's like a tenner RRP. Probably a bit steep actually for what it is, if I'm honest. Like, that is actually quite steep when you think about it. It's a Game Pass game. Again, it's there because it's a freebie and it wouldn't have been played at full price, but can't be helped. Donut County, I will give it. I feel like I'm going to be a bit harsher on this one. Give it a box full of neutrals, just in the middle. Just in the mids.
Yeah.
That hands down.
It's all right. Yeah, not a thumb down, not quite a thumb up, just in the middle, loving life.
Oh, nice.
No foul. If you've got like a spare couple of hours, maybe do it. But like I said, have a blunt or something before.
Before sparking. Yeah, I can see that with that sort of art style.
Yeah.
absolutely caned, and then just have that for playing for a couple of hours. Sounds like
Trouble is, a lot of reading. Like, if you want to follow the story, I know a lot of people just skip through it, which is probably the right thing to do. But if you do want to read the story, it might not be the best. You'll be sitting there staring at it for like, it'll take you like 5 hours to get through it.
Rich lore.
Yeah, rich backstory for Donut County. Right, I've called this next section the Dipper.
The Big Dipper.
And you'd mentioned this earlier on in the podcast where you had been dipping in and out of various games.
Yeah.
So it's almost like not a speed round, say as much or as little as you want, but there's 4 games that you've had a real crack at. Not a real crack, you've had a crack at in the last week, trying to find something to get some traction. Bowser's Fury in the bins, so that's created another couple of days where this might have been treading water as such. And I wanted to see if any of these are likely to stick or not going forward. There's some interesting choices on this. Let's get
it's odd.
Yeah, let's get the 2 sporting ones out of the way. They don't get a lot of spotlight here on IGC or in Dimp in general, unless you go on those streams. Hall's playing NBA. Let's start with FIFA 21. Now,
FIFA 21.
I'm assuming this is a game you bought last gen or this gen, and just you've had it for quite a while. It's
no. This is. I'll tell you, both of these actually are the 10-hour trials that come with Game Pass.
Yes, the EA Access
and
trials that come with Game Pass. Excellent.
I've played about 4 hours of FIFA, and it shut me out. I went to play it again today, and it says your thing's expired.
I wonder if you left it on pause or rest mode or.
I looked on my Xbox Live thing. Yeah, maybe it might be the rest mode thing. Shit, didn't think of that. Yeah, that might be it. I was wondering if you have to do it in a certain amount of days or something. So I think I did start it sort of Wednesday. And then, went to play it then today. And I was like, it said no. And I was like, hang on a minute. looked at my game time, and it said it was only like 4.5 hours. I was like, why? I've still got another fucking 5.5. What are you talking about, mate? And then, so I've only got 4.5 hours. But, having said that, I was done anyway. I remember I used to stick about 200 hours into FIFA every year. Yeah. Easily. And every year it got less and less and less and less. And I think I started buying it. Well, I started on Pro Evo and then bought every FIFA from 06 all the way up. And I think 19. I think 19 was the last one, or the first one I didn't buy. And I actually bought 20 on Switch actually last year.
Christ!
It's just to see what it was like on Switch, and it was dog rough. But. Yeah, so I didn't buy this one. No, I just thought, like I say, I was in a rut, and I was like, what can I play? I was like, oh no, I've got a 10-hour trial. I'll play that. And played, a handful of games. I booted it up. Actually, I booted it up a while ago, actually, if you remember, because I remember sending you pictures of the next-gen update with the hair.
Yes.
So I started it then. So, yeah, I reckon it must be that I've just left it on rest mode, like you say. I reckon you're right.
Strange.
That's annoying.
How
but
does the fucking hair look?
It does. Well, it's annoying because it's only like 4 people. The rest is.
What is it? Messi, Cavani, Alisson. I think
Alisson.
Yeah, he's cut his hair now, so that's out of date.
Yeah. Neymar's got a bit of it.
Okay, yeah.
Then some real random ones like that.
Harry Maguire.
Harry's got it.
Jamie Vardy.
Philippe, I forget his name, the Atletico lad, Felix. Don't be following that lot.
That old muck.
But yeah, there's very few people that have this full next gen upgrade to the character mods. When it zooms out into normal mode, you can't even fucking see it.
No.
At this point. There's a few added cutscenes at the beginning of a game. You see like the players getting off a bus. That's about it. But yeah, it was just FIFA. It was sort of all these new gimmicks and that they sort of you forget about them after your
They're
first game.
bollocks, aren't they? They are just shit. Like they've not fundamentally changed that game for a long time. And so that's not going to convert you into a purchase then of FIFA. Liverpool's results ain't helped, have they?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I was like, right, if I can, instead of it in the misery of watching them live, if I just pretend this is the real score, this is the real quiz.
Real quiz.
And I just beat people, but it just no, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there for him.
No, even when it goes down to like 10 or 15 quid or whatever low it goes, it'll probably go on the fucking EA Play Hub.
It will, yeah. Annoyingly, they don't do it till like after the season ends. They've done it a few times, which is really annoying. One time they did do it in like April, which was quite cool.
Oh,
yeah, it's still like a bit of the season left. I was like, okay, I think I played for that journey mode.
Oh yeah, see they don't. Well, they got a fucking Volta now. Yellow Boots is livid about that. He said like that was the best thing ever, FIFA story mode, and he said they chucked it in after the third one.
Got the trilogy out there.
Got the trilogy. What was that guy's name? Hunter. That was it.
Yeah.
He really enjoyed that, but now they're trying to stick a fucking volleyball thing in it. Volta.
Is that what it is?
The Brazilian futsal or whatever it is. Yeah, they've made like a version of that where you make your own character. And then you go through like a futsal thing, like 5-a-side journey mode. It's like a story in that. But apparently it's crap compared to the OG.
Need Hunter back.
But yeah, no, it's not going to get a purchase, I don't think. It's FIFA. Not a lot's changed. Yeah, and it's been stung out of a full 10 hours, it seems.
Not a happy home life.
No.
EA Sports UFC 4. Now, go back to yesteryear. I'd have been all over these UFC games. I had all the THQ ones. They'd done 3 of them. I had them all on release, so that was excellent. And then the first two of the EA Sports games I had on release. And then really, it weren't really the game's fault. It was more I kind of lost touch with UFC in particular because there's just so many fucking events. And they started putting like BT in the last year started putting stuff on box office, and I was like, well, that's now annoyed me. But mainly the sport element, I hadn't really kept in touch with it, other than watch like one fight out of about 4, and then once you get to that point, I kind of lost touch with wanting to play the game. But you've gone back to UFC 4.
Well, I did the same with 3. Yeah, I'm the same as you. I've still got 1 and 2 on my trusty PS4. I'm looking at them right now. So 1 and 2, I think I was much like yourself, very much into the sport. I watched it last night, to be honest. But it's half of it live. I fell asleep. That's the trouble. I never can stay up, and then I watched the highlights. I
forwarded towards Gastelum's fight this morning when I woke up. Watched that, and then watched Burns and Usman.
Yeah,
that was it though. But I forwarded through everything else, and gone like 2-3 years ago. I'd have been up watching that live.
Watching every prelim.
That's it.
I am with you. It's sort of, I don't know. It's certainly with the fans not there. It's not as exciting, and like you say, there is just so much of it, and it's the way the games are going. To be honest, they're becoming very similar. I, like you, bought 1 and 2. 3, I did this exact same thing. I think I didn't have EA Place, but I bought one of them month trials on CD keys.
Yeah, about £2 job, whatever they were.
£2, and I managed to plough through the career mode in that 10-hour trial. You just ploughed through it, got 2 belts in different weight divisions, just sort of went into until I got into the Hall of Fame, and then called it a day. I think that some of them are endless. You can just go forever.
Yeah.
I was about 48, still fucking fighting.
I like one of the changes they made. I think it was in 2, where the damage you took in the fights could like shorten your career.
I
quite like that element, because sometimes you take a fucking paste and think it's really going to hurt me later on down the line. But
so this one, done exactly the same with this one. I thought, oh no, I played 10 hours of thing. I still am playing it, to be honest. I did fight again today, but yeah, it's much for much. It's the same sort of thing. You sort of start off like a sort of a homemade company, a bit like Cage Warriors or whatever it is.
Okay.
They've now included you go through that, is it Dana White's Contender Series?
Yeah,
so you go through that now. and that's how you get into the UFC. The thing is, the difficulty. I get my fucking ass kicked on normal, yet easy's I piss through it. Yeah. So there's no happy medium.
And do you get your ass handed to you in like ground game only, or stand up only, or anywhere?
Anything. They put me in a fucking submission. I can't get out of it. I just puff out with steam every fight. Just get absolutely fucking like. They teach you how to fucking not takedown defense, but every takedown, I press the buttons and I just get taken down.
I remember in the early days, those career modes, when your stats are low, it can be brutal.
Yeah, it was.
Brutally
I was getting
difficult.
fucking loss after loss. I managed to win a title. I was trying to defend it, but yeah, that's only because I'm sort of training every week, trying to do my stats up. I'm knocking out every training partner a minute so I can get the most stats. But then you can't train for the rest of the fucking week. And then the difficulty spike is so hard. Like the default normal, I think that is going to put a lot of people off. Right. And they change it, like the mechanics. So every game they seem to change how the ground game works.
The tweakers.
The submissions and stuff.
So how's that fairly? Because one of the things that I thought they'd done okay in the first one, then completely I lost faith in it in the second one, was the ground game. Not necessarily the submissions, but the transitions and the blocking of transitions and reversals. How have they? Is there much fundamental changes here? They simplified it. Is there a simple mode?
No, it's still sort of on the analogs now. Sort of hold down the left trigger and then do it to get into a submission. You can defense, and there's no sort of big changes, to be honest. No, they are still the sort of same. And yeah, the submissions are slightly different. You have that sort of mini game where you have to chase around their sort of semicircle.
Yeah.
There was a different one. They sort of there was another one where it sort of was like another mini game where you have a semicircle and you have to go from left to right. I think it was the difference between like a choke or if you had them in like a hold or something, like a leg lock, something like that. A bit different. But yeah, it wasn't really. There's not really anything. The only thing I have noticed that they've done a lot, obviously with the updated characters roster, they've added some new sort of like fun modes, a bit like on what they've done with FIFA. You got like there's the new modes now where there was like a mode on FIFA like elimination. So every time you scored, they'd take a player away from one of their the opposite team. So it's like a fun mode that you'd only really play once and then be like, yeah, I'm not playing that again. So on this, you had turned it into like a bit of a Mortal Kombat game.
Oh,
so it's like kickboxing. And you had like 3 health bars.
Yes.
So you have to just keep hitting each other till you get till you knock each other out, and then that goes into the next round. So it's sort of best of 3.
Nice.
I was like, oh, okay. So they've turned it into like a fighting game, and it's like got this sort of like looks like something out of Bloodsport or something, like an underground Thai kickboxing place. But yeah, other than that, it's like I say, it's becoming a bit of a FIFA. It's sort of another rendition. Not a really big changes. It still has this annoying thing when they make their walkouts. It like slows down for some reason, like the frame rate dips.
Yeah.
It's done that since 1. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do remember.
Just they're walking out, and I was like, right, we're running here at 60. Yeah, 4K 60 here, boys. What's going on? It looks pretty, you know. Herb Dean looks lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah. It's not really much. It's not going to be a purchase for me.
No, nothing.
Been all right.
Another trial, another no conversion
Another
from
trial,
EA.
no.
Chuck away merchants. Little Nightmares. Now I'm guessing this is all coming off the back of the sequel releasing.
Yes.
It's on Game Pass.
And that's no, it's not.
It's not.
I thought.
Games with Gold.
It's Games with Gold. Yeah.
Sorry.
So if you didn't pick it up,
you fucked it.
You fucked basically, because a lot of people. Although I did find it on PC yesterday because Clarky wanted to play it.
Yeah.
He's only got PC Game Pass, so he didn't get it. I found it is on CD keys for £1.29 if you want it.
There you go.
And to be honest, I think I might buy it on PC because it runs at 30 on console.
Oh,
it's a real stinker. Which is
Does it run at 60 on the PC?
Yeah.
Cool. Even on that Series X?
Even that Series X can't fucking handle it. It's going, no. So they haven't optimised it. But I've got to say, yeah, I'm impressed with it. It's one I will stick with and I will see it through. It's another Donut County type of length.
Yeah.
I think 2-3 hours max. It reminds me so much of Playdead games. Like Limbo.
That's what I see when I look at them, and that's what's kind of got me half looking at Little Nightmares and then Little Nightmares 2 when I've got through the first one.
Yeah, so it's quite fun. You just play as this little character. You're not really much, a bit like Limbo and that, no backstory. So you're sort of like, right, you're set on like a ship, and you're like a little kid type thing. You don't really know what it is. But yeah, it's just a similar sort of thing. It's a bit more isometric than Limbo, where Limbo was 2D.
Yes, yeah.
You can actually go up and down a bit of the level this time. Okay. But yeah, it's a really cool setting, very creepy. I suppose it is horror. It's nothing. It's not really jump scares or anything like that I've had so far. But it's a very atmospheric and creepy setting. Being chased by Logan in a minute, some fucker with long arms. So yeah, it's a really weird setting, but very visual, fun game. And if you like that Limbo type game, it's definitely one worth. I'd say stick it out. I will see it through, and then potentially we'll buy number 2. But I've got a feeling 2 runs at 30 as well. So another stinker.
Disaster.
This is literally the first game I've played on these new next gen consoles that are 30. So it is like going back to the fucking peasants. But out of 3 so far, this is the best of the bunch and a real stayer. Good one. So
the one that's been critically has performed the best is Persona 5, which is the next one. Yeah. So I've understood that you've played probably a couple of hours of this or so.
Yeah, it's just over 3 hours. I think I've stuck into that, which is about 1% of the game.
Oh yeah, that's the trouble with it. But it's a what's name, isn't it? A PlayStation collection jobby.
Yeah, PlayStation Collection, PS4 backwards compat.
Yeah, not Royal Edition. Must stress
not
that.
Not Royal Edition, no. Which is I did want that, to be fair, because it's supposed to be the definitive version. There's added bits in there, new content, the thing. But I know people that have fucking played the OG and then gone back and fucking platinum Royal as well because it's such a good game. But straight off the bat, if listeners of the show, if you hear our thoughts and reviews on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Apps would famously say that it has the worst start to a game ever.
Worst prologue, certainly in the Creed element, and one of the worst I've ever fucking put lines on a controller to play.
I reckon Persona 5, the prologue's probably about 30 hours long, considering its length. But I will say that Persona 5 has possibly one of the worst intros to a game. And certainly the first opening 2 hours might be I'd pay Biff to play this just to see how long he can get through it. Because I was honestly, no spoilers, but for the first hour of the game, don't do a single bit of combat.
Right. Are you moving around?
You move around,
right? Okay.
And there's actually that's a lie. I think there's one bit of combat. There's one tutorial bit of combat. Yeah, that just shows you that it's not even a tutorial to show you how the combat system works.
No, it's one shot everything.
It just shows you how, it just shows you what type of game it is. You do that one battle, and for 2 hours you're reading text, just walking from A to B, reading text. And honestly, it's weird because I know that this game is supposed to be the best JRPG ever.
Yeah.
But I'm playing this game now, just going, how is this the best JRPG ever?
Well, how many of these fuckers have you played, do you reckon? If you think about JRPGs in this vein where it's turn-based and
I suppose, so a couple of the Final Fantasies. I've never played these Xenoblades, that's another one. So I suppose not. it is a thing. Like
I'm led to believe they're all fucking long.
Yeah, they do seem. And the older I've got, I used to watch a lot of anime.
Yeah.
Like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
As I've got older, I struggle with it now. I went to an anime convention 3 years ago, and that sort of really put the nail in the coffin for me. I don't want to sound disrespectful to the anime community, but
you were about to.
I was about to.
Make us timestamp to cut this out. Hang on.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know. Just the vibe, the people that were there, and I've never felt so out of the, like, I felt like a dad at a convention when I was there. Like it was just such full of young bucks, all sort of sprightly, and they were all into this like Japanese
all
style
cosplaying.
Cosplaying. There's all characters I didn't know, and I've just never felt so out of touch with this sort of lifestyle, this sort of genre. And since then, I've sort of tried. Even like this week, I've been trying to watch this series that everyone's raving about, and it's just I've just struggled for it to click. Like I don't know. I think as I'm getting older, it's just becoming more of like a kids' TV show, and it's struggling because I know there's some great adult animes out there, like films like Akira and fucking like the Ghost in the Shell series. They're more adult orientated animes, and that is what I prefer. And then you've got stuff like Dragon Ball Z, which sort of is like nostalgic fun, but at the same time, like when you're watching it, you're like, fucking hell, this is like a kids show.
Yes.
So Persona is very much an anime kids show. Like this first hour of just you're basically just playing through this kid's life. It was like he like the setup is he like gets put into like this. He sets himself up for a crime that he's trying to help someone who's been like potentially molested.
Right. Okay.
He sort of tries to stop this geezer and then ends up hurting the bloke and gets sued and has a criminal record.
Oh yes.
And it's just you like joining this new school. Like you think this is the setup to the story. Like, oh right, okay, so he's starting this new life in Tokyo and he's going to this new school. He has a criminal record and that. And for that first hour, you're just reading. It's just you're just going to school. That's all you do. You just go to school. I'm like, right. So
it sounds like up my alley.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just you're just playing someone going to school. I was like, right, now I just feel like a Japanese school student.
Maybe it's part of it. Maybe try and lure you in with that.
Exactly,
seduce you with that, and they'll hit you with the hard hitting combat.
Exactly, yeah. So it's starting to pick up a little bit, but like I say, I'm about 3-4 hours in. But the thing is, I know how good this game is supposed to be. And typically with these types of games, it's always the way where they're like, oh, once you get past the first 15 hours, it really opens up.
Yeah.
I think, fucking hell, we live in a day and age now where if you're not entertained in the first 5 minutes, people bin it.
Yeah.
So
what's going to happen with this one? It sounds like Little Nightmares will get completed because its length is short. This is a behemoth. If you're 100 hours plus.
Games I've ever played. Yeah, I think I shocked myself at finishing Red Dead 2, and that was about just over the 100 hours, 95, I think, or something like that I put in.
Yes.
And I was like, cool. Yeah, this is easily over 100 hours, apparently, if you want to go back and get everything. And even just the story mode's about 80, 90 hours, I think.
Yeah.
The trouble is, I'm not a huge turn-based lover.
No.
To be honest, I'm more interested in the new game that's come out, this Persona 5 Strikers.
Right, yes.
That's
the
combat-based
one.
Game. So it's just free-flow combat that, you ain't got to stop and do anything. But I've read reviews on it, and they're saying like it feels like almost like a sequel to the first. So I'm like, I can't just go straight into Strikers now. I've got to play through Persona, and I know that people love it this much. It's got to be a good game, and I've got to enjoy it. But it's just it's a real struggle at the minute. Just having, I just know that I've got to get past this hump of this school life until I start getting into the meat of the game. and I can just continue. But it's one I do want to continue with. Like, I want to try and push myself to get out of this sort of misery of an opening.
Yeah.
But it's one of these games where it's a lot of reading. It's one of those games where they just chuck so many mechanics and systems at you that you sort of feel a bit overwhelmed.
Yes.
I'm like, right, so hold on, so I've got to start focusing on that, and this does that, and I've got to fucking put, right, okay. As well as fucking going, right, I've got to go to school. I'm going to be late for school. I've got to tidy my room, go to fucking school. The first mission was teaching you how to change on the train, how to change stops. Like, you have to stop at a different stop, like in real life. And they was moaning about trains being delayed. I was like, what is this? I don't work in London because I don't want to fucking... No. I don't want that.
No one does anymore.
Exactly. I don't want that commute. Now I'm fucking playing a game where I'm commuting. I'm fucking switching trains. What's going on here? Why is fucking 90 odd?
At least you can switch trains with a beer Moretti in your hand without any people judging you.
Yeah,
sitting on the train at 7:30 in the morning having a beer. That's interesting. I'm interested to monitor that one to see how far it gets, whether it's dropped off, whether it's crapped on. I mean, Little Nightmares, it sounds like is going to get done. I mean, the length of it just means that it's an easier job. Persona 5 is a huge job, especially with Mario coming in the coming days.
Well, this is the thing. It will take back seats because, like I say, it's not grabbing me by the bollards. Normally, like a game like this, maybe like a Final Fantasy VII, although that did seem to take me a while to get into it, but when I did, I was sucking in and did see it through.
But it had the combat, the action.
Exactly, that's the thing. This is what's going to be struggling is this combat. Will I have the bollards to see it through? One thing that is in its favour, it's quite easy. It's not a game that I'm like, fucking hell, I can't even figure this out. There was like one battle I've got to recently where I did die, and I was like, right, what have I done wrong? And it just sort of went back, done things a bit different, and pissed it. And I was like, right, so it's not like a hard game. Wow. I think more of the fucking challenge is
it's a battle of
concentration.
Attrition. Yeah,
it's a battle of attrition. It's a battle of staying interested and seeing it through till you start. Like, the characters do seem pretty good, and I know that's a lot of what people have said. The game is good, like the character building, the world building and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not my typical go-to type of game. Like, I'm more open to like anime RPGs compared to someone like Biff.
Yeah.
Maybe even yourself. But yeah, Japanese 120 hours of fucking
school simulator.
School simulator with fucking turn-based combat. That is a real plus. But yeah, it'll be monitored. I will try and go back to it when I can.
And let's be the last one, and then I'll close it down. But any interest? People are like waiting for the end of the episode. They're like, any interest in stopping this progress in Persona 5, looking at Persona 5 Royal Edition and saying, right, that might be a worthwhile investment, because what's come out of the back of that is that people are saying it's kind of like a definitive edition of it, almost, in that there's new gameplay added, they've tweaked certain things. I think maybe you can play as a new character, I can't remember exactly what it is, but anything there where you could forgo binning this kind of free edition, which is no financial outlay, looking over the fence and saying, here's some people are saying is a better version of the same game. And if I'm going to commit 120 hours, maybe I'll go down that road. Or is it just, this is a freebie, I'm going to take advantage of it, and I wouldn't have bought Royal Edition anyway?
Well, here's the thing. I had Royal wishlisted. I still have. Because I thought, that's the thing. But it was...
I'll tell you what annoyed me about that fucking wishlist system. I did loads of stuff wishlisted, and then when the PS5 come along, they fucking deleted them all.
Oh, yeah.
I like to re-add them all. Yeah. I don't think you can do it on the app yet either. You have to do it on the console. So that's
it's quite hard to find games as well.
Jim, thumb up arse. Let me do it on the app if it's not there already. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So I had that wishlisted, but at the same time, because I knew how long of a game it was, it's one I've been sort of preempted to buy because I didn't know this is a huge undertaking. The other day I was like, this might be the game to get me out of my rut. Unfortunately, it hasn't grabbed me by the bollards like I hoping it was.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to start off with a bang and it was sucking me in, and I go, fuck Mario, I'm going to play this.
Yeah.
But it has done, to be honest. It's one I will persist with, but I did want the Royal Edition because, I'm a sucker for definitive editions, and I think, that's probably the best way to play it. But the whole reason I'm now playing this Persona 5 is because I wanted to play that Persona 5 Strikers, but I'm now told that in a review that Strikers now completely disregards whatever the additional content is in Royale. Fucking retcons it. It says, no, that didn't happen. So is that canon? Is my question.
If you're going to invest 100 hours, canon has to be there, I say. I mean, that sounds like... Because I was interested in playing Persona 5, and I have been for many years, and Raw Edition seemed like, okay, I'll wait for that. Then we got the dilemma, like you said, we've got PlayStation Plus for free. If we're now saying that it's perhaps not... It's being retconned, I can trick Ronnie into going down the freedom route. I can trick... I don't have to trick him. He'll say, that's you've done the right thing there. But how do we confirm that?
Well, that's it. Well, because I've been doing this sort of almost like a demo week of trialing these games, I did think that maybe I could just play the 5 hours of the freebie as a demo, see if I like this game, and then maybe go to Royale if it is the big cheese. But it's one of these. I'm not bothered about a physical edition with Persona.
No,
I don't think I own any Japanese apart from Final Fantasy. Any Japanese physical games, so maybe that's my new way into the digital life. I just say no Japanese games.
Yakuza, that's a Japanese series. That's all digital, so you've already got a collection going.
So I'm in. But so at the minute, I don't think I would go for Royal at the minute until I feel like I'm fully invested, and maybe I'll go for both. A 200-hour and fucking play the thing and then play Royal.
There's some sick puppies that have done that. They've played both versions to completion. Yeah,
but no, I will suck it. But I'm sort of treating this as a demo and trying to go through slowly but surely, and I'm just trying to be grabbed by the bollards. I want something like this. That's why I was sort of committed. It took me a while to start this since November when we got the game, and that was one of the big ones that I wanted to play.
Mate, I was like, just replay God of War 4K 60 FPS and be done with it.
Well, that's the thing. There's games coming now. We're getting into the business end.
Yeah.
We've had this fucking since November. There's been fuck all really, isn't there?
Great deal.
Not fucking, but not any ball grabbers.
No.
Now we've got these fucking remasters happening. We've got fucking Resi on the horizon, Monster Hunter, fucking Ratchet's just been given a release date.
Yep.
So we've got ones coming. But I've been waiting for a time to start this game because I know it's such an undertaking, but I want something to fucking grab me and go, right, I'm sucking into this, yep, do it, this is doing it. But I think maybe a little bit of it, because I know how long it is, that's sort of really struggling to go,
Especially because when it's that long, you kind of need a good month or more to like be able to dedicate to it. And what you don't want to do is for something shiny to come along, lose momentum, and then think, fuck, I'm 50 hours invested into that, but I've not played it in 3 months. That's tough. But then you might need 3 months to get through it, so you need to make sure them diaries are clear. But it'll be interesting. We'll check back in at some point, see how Persona 5's going, and probably get some final impressions of Little Nightmares. And of course, when Mario arrives, we'll get you back on and talk about that. But I think that'll do for this particular week. So, as usual, thanks for joining me on this particular episode. Those of you that are listening, if you stumbled across it, I don't know how people stumble across podcasts, but if you have, just subscribe, and then you'll get something posted every Monday. On the odd occasion, you might get a bonus episode in the midweek. Very rare that happens, but some of the big titles we did it for Last of Us Part 2. Did a big old spoiler cast for that, so they sometimes drop intermittently, but mainly every Monday you'll get something new to listen to around the gaming space. So hit subscribe. Patreon.com/idlegamechat's there if you want to put a hand in pocket. But nothing more for us to say apart from Thanks for your time, and ta-da.
This was a Dimp Digital production.